Reading for March 11th Science of Mind, A Philosophy of Faith, A Way of Life by Ernest Holmes. Reading from page 146, paragraph 2, through page 148, paragraph 4, using inclusive language. The power within. Through spiritual discernment, we see that we have within us a power which is greater than anything we should ever contact. Power that can overcome every obstacle in our experience and set us safe, satisfied, and at peace, healed and prosperous in a new light and a new life. If Creator be for us, who can be against us? Source's creative power of mind is right here. We have as much of this power to use as we believe in and embody. The storehouse of nature is filled with infinite good, awaiting the touch of our awakened thought to spring forth into manifestation in our lives. But the awakening must be within our thought. The word that we speak is the law of our lives, and nothing hinders its operation but ourselves. We may use this creative word for whatever purposes we desire, and the word becomes the law unto the thing for which it was spoken. We are given the power to sit in the midst of our lives and direct their activities. Strife and struggle are unnecessary. We only need to know, but we must know constructively. Just so far as we depend upon any condition, past, present, or future, we are creating chaos because we are then dealing with condition effects and not with causes. Could we but comprehend the fact that there is a power that makes things directly out of itself by simply becoming the thing it makes, could we but grasp this greatest truth about life and realize that we are dealing with a principle scientifically correct and eternally present, we could accomplish whatever it is possible for us to consider. Life externalizes at the level of our thought. We set our own limitations. Do we desire to live in a world peopled with friends who love us, surrounded by things beautiful and pleasing? There is but one way, and this way is as certain as the sun shines. Daily we must control all thought that denies the real, affirm the divine presence within us. Then, as the mist disappears before the sun, so shall adversity melt away before the shining radiance of our exalted thought. The prodigal son remained a prodigal as long as he chose to do so. When he chose to, he returned to his father's house and was greeted with outstretched hands. So shall our experience be when we return to the world which is perfect. There will be something that will turn to us. We shall behold a new heaven and a new earth, not in some faraway place, but here and now. Act as though I am and I will be. The Spirit of truth will lead us into all good. This is the high road to the fulfillment of our lives. There is then no limitation outside our own ignorance, and since we can all conceive of a greater good than we have so far experienced, we all have the ability to transcend previous experiences and rise triumphant above them. But we shall never triumph over them while we persist in going through the old mental reactions. Understanding. Before we attempt to improve our conditions, before we proceed further on the subject of healing, it is necessary that we be certain in our own minds that thought is creative, as upon this basis our entire superstructure rests. Since spirit creates by contemplation, purely mental action, then everything in the manifest world is some effect of its thought. Our own minds are an expression of the divine mind and must be of the same essence. That we find ourselves in an undesirable condition in the face of all this is merely proof that we have limited ourselves by our very freedom. Shall we not then reverse our thinking and take for our starting point the inherent nature of mental powers? We have gone far in the right direction when we have determined that creation could have originated only in intelligence, and have realized further that our own mental power must be the same kind with the creativeness of God. Thus, we begin to sense, even though dimly, that as our mind becomes more like the divine mind, we shall expand into a greater livingness, our world created by our consciousness, and our consciousness taking its color from the perception of our relation to the infinite. We should strive toward a perfect vision, a perfect conception. We should expand our thought until it realizes all good, and then cut right through all that appears to be and use this almighty power for definite purposes. We should daily feel a deep union with life, a greater sense of that indwelling God, the God of the seen and of the unseen within us. When we speak into this mind, we have sown a seed of thought in the Absolute, and we may rest in peace. We need not make haste, for it is done unto us as we believe. In that day, they that call upon me, I will answer.